Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Tonight I want to share with you a clip from a recent live event where myself and Saucy J talk about DEC and the arbitrage play in front of you because of the SPS airdrop, the SPS airdrop points that you're getting from holding DEC, how you can use liquidity pools, and how it's all uniquely valuable at this moment due to the peg that Splinterlands is going to respect from and with DEC. This is gigantic. And this is a huge opportunity. I am excited about this, and we talk about it for a while, looking at various angles on what DEC could do for us today in 2022. So if that sounds interesting, stick around, stay tuned, like and subscribe, and come hang out on Friday nights from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time while I'm doing live on Splinterlands TV. Thanks, guys. Have an amazing day. God bless.
Yeah. So okay. So let's transition. If you don't mind,
Sure.
Because it's a perfect segue. So Crypto Llama dropped that video that you recommended go watch. So I went and watched it. Thought it was a great video. So two things on that. One of them, speaking to your point, I'm gonna do 3 million DEC, and I have my strategy, what I'm doing with that. But that's gonna go into packs, and a majority of those packs I'm gonna hold long after Chaos Legion sells out. But there is going to be a portion of those packs that I do want to open, even though I'm pretty much fully maxed out, because I do want to find a couple of those little gems that, I could take for profit, right? So it's kind of gambling a little bit, but that's kind of the fun part of it. Because I'm the same way, right? Like I'm buying. I think I went and bought, a gold. I bought a few gold cards that I already had, just to start stacking them up because I know they're going to be valuable. And I know that they're just, like you said, they're going to be massively more valuable than they are right now. And so I wanted to get more than one copy because I want to take profits from them. Maybe I do want to keep the Mamacita account at a certain point. So why not just keep accumulating, especially during this like really low phase? So I'm the same way. But where I wanted to get with the Crypto Llama thing was this. Here's what I'm planning on doing.
Yeah.
And I want your feedback on this. So I'm going to get to 3 million DEC, and I'm going to just hold it. And every day when I get my airdrops, whatever the delta is from what I'm currently getting. So let's just say, for example, I'm getting 50 DEC a day, right? Or SPS a day.
Yep.
And I get 3 million DEC, and the SPS reward daily now goes from 50 to, I don't know, 75 or something. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be something like that, or maybe 100. I'm going to take that SPS delta increase and transfer that to the pool along with the equivalent amount of DEC from the 3 million to get double the points from the airdrop. Does that make sense?
Selling, you want to take a slice of what the payout is, and you want to do what with it?
So let's just say it was on a zero account, like with no existing. I just had a basic account, 3 million DEC.
Yep.
And I get, I don't know, what is 3 million going to get me? Probably
3 million,
like 150 DEC SPS, something like that.
I forget the numbers escape me right now. He talked about it in his video, like how much $2,000 or a million was going to get you.
Yeah. But let's just say, for example, it gave me 100 SPS a day, right?
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 100 SPS and I'm going to send it over to Tribal Dex or to my wallet, my Hive wallet. Then I'm going to take the equivalent amount of DEC from that 3 million, transfer that to Tribal Dex as well. And then put those in a liquidity pool. So now I'm getting double the points. Now the next day, let's say instead of only getting 100 SPS, I might get 102 SPS. So now I'm going to transfer that into the pool and just keep growing that over the course of these 50 something days.
Yeah.
Right. Because every day I'm doing that, I'm just increasing my airdrop points.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me. Because you're like leveraging the profit and then putting it into another vehicle that will leverage it even, that will like amp up what you're already, the gains that you're getting, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's two things that I'm thinking about. If SPS at some point pumps, right? When I say pump, I don't mean massive pump. I'm not like moving to the dollar, $2 thing. I'm talking about like 15, 20 cents, right?
Yep.
You know what that's going to do to the DEC in that liquidity pool?
Yeah.
Massive,
Yeah.
right? Doubles it
Yeah.
essentially, right? So now I can take that DEC and let's say now it's 3 million at the end of the airdrop. Now that's one of the caveats I'm worried about, because at the end of the airdrop, I feel like there's going to be a massive sell off.
Mhm.
But I'm not super insecure about that because of the 1-to-1 ratio. But if it's in a pool, that's different than if it's just sitting in my wallet, in Splinterlands, right? If it's in a pool, I can lose, right? Because of actual price action compared to SPS. I don't know if that makes sense.
I've never messed with pools, so I don't fully track, but I understand that the volatility from a pool, when you're in a pool, if the price I've heard when the price of one of the assets changes because they pay you out X amount, that can grow the proportion of what you're receiving, like from your DEC. If for instance SPS pumped, right? Isn't that how it
Yep.
works? Like if your SPS pumps to
Yeah.
15 cents, you're going to get way more DEC. Is that
Yeah,
how
you
it
get a
works?
ton of DEC.
But then what happens if SPS drops?
It's always going to be a 1-to-1 when you pull out so when you put in a pair of coins into a pool,
Yes.
you get what's called you get like a token, a liquidity token,
Okay.
right? And that token is basically saying you have one of that and here's what it's worth today.
Gotcha.
And as people swap in and out of the different tokens, whether it's DEC and SPS, whatever they're trying to do, the value of those will go up and down. So here's what happens if there's I haven't thought that all the way through. I mean, I was only thinking the optimal one, which is if SPS goes to like 15 cents, what that's going to do to DEC. But if like let's say it like 15 days or 10 days before the end of the airdrops, people start pulling out because they want to sell their DEC because they're worried that it's gonna right. They want to get the most money back from their DEC that they've been holding this whole time because they've been getting the airdrops and they want to dump on the market. That's a very, very reasonable thing to assume is going to happen because there are people just holding tons of DEC
Yep.
that maybe are planning on buying packs or just maybe planning on just getting those SPS and then selling that DEC for USDC or whatever they want, right? So if that happens, and there's two scenarios. If you're in a liquidity pool and that happens, and the price of SPS, or I'm sorry, DEC falls below, whatever 001.
Yep.
Is that what
Yep.
it's
That's right.
supposed to? You pegged that?
Yeah.
Okay. What'll happen is in that case, what does happen? You're not going to get a ton of S. I need to think about that. I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wish I could comment, but I've never been through it. I do think that SPS is probably going to pump in that time. I actually think SPS could pump in the next few weeks. And there's just a lot of reasons for that would be really hard for me to unpack. And I've said a bunch of it before, like so many times, so I don't want to like beat a dead horse. But I mean, I just really am confident that things are looking up for what we've got going on here. And so I would almost say that that's a bigger, plus I would like from the DEC going down in value below peg. I don't think that doesn't feel very likely given all the pressures around right now with, like the fact that you can trade it for 0.001 directly to Splinterlands for Chaos Legion ballot packs. And so I find it hard to believe that it would fall. I feel like that play. Oh man, you know what? We didn't really properly explain even what that play is because we just are assuming everyone knows, but not everybody who's watching will. This whole conversation is based on the idea that right now, and this is kind of Crypto Llama came up with this idea. I posted it on Twitter, and I then summarized it in like a 4-minute video the other day called DEC equals zero risk. And the interesting idea is that every million DEC you buy right now, if you like Chaos Legion packs, you actually can get them with almost no risk, right? Like by choosing to purchase them through DEC. So you go and you buy DEC today, and then you sit on that DEC until this airdrop is over in another 50 days or 55 days or whatever. And you're going to get free SPS every single day. And every $1,000 is roughly $1 million, I think, SPS. And so if you had $2,000 or $3,000, you could get, 2 or 3 million DEC. And then that's going to get you, I think every million is something like 50 SPS a day, something like that. Whatever it was not inconsequential. And across the 50 days, you're looking at several $100s worth of. Crypto Llama said, even if SPS stays at the price it's currently at, it would be something like $700 worth of free SPS if you put $2,000 into DEC. So that alone is crazy. Like you buy $2,000 worth of DEC and you sit on it for 2 months and you're gonna get $700 back in paid in SPS. That's wild. And then on top of that, you can liquidate the DEC afterwards at definitely the same price you are currently buying it for, because DEC is currently 0.001057. Pretty well, this is the peg value. 0.001 is peg. And meaning when I say peg, you can go and spend it at this price in Splinterlands, buying packs on the shop, regardless of whether DEC floored craters. It doesn't matter. Splinterlands will take it for that value. And so you can come in here as long as Splinterlands has assets you want, such as Chaos Legion packs, and they got 7 million more to sell, or I guess for 6 million more to sell, you're going to have an outlet to release those assets from a no risk perspective, and thereby unlocking free SPS. And by the way, theoretically free airdrops, because if you did all the things that Saucy J just described, taking the DEC, putting it in the pool, taking a certain amount and put the SPS, putting that into a pool, magnifying your growth, you're still at the end of the day going to have DEC to liquidate. You can come in here later, buy packs with it, and if you want, sit on those packs forever, open those packs, or buy the packs from Splinterlands and sell them on the marketplace for Hive, and then liquidate the Hive and then get your USD back out. This is it's theoretically possible within 2 months to probably, with a $2,000 investment, make $1,000. Because remember, it's not just the SPS, it's actually airdrops from the Chaos Legion packs you're going to be able to purchase through those millions of DEC. So it's it really seems like a DEC no risk investment, and yet significant financial gain for you're talking 50%. 50%. In his video, he gives a detailed breakdown on it. You might want to go watch it, guys, if you haven't already seen it. But he says, look, you put $2,000 into DEC, you're probably gonna get $1,000 back, and that's assuming SPS doesn't pump and DEC doesn't pump. If either of those pump, the whole thing goes way better for you. So it seems like it's a no risk opportunity.
Second. Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think, and as I was thinking through it, the only way you would lose DEC is if SPS actually went way down, which I don't see that happening. So I'm gonna do that strategy where I roll it every day. I just think it makes a lot more sense.
I haven't heard anybody say that one, and that does make sense. I haven't heard anybody talk about that. Good call.
Yeah, and then Tales from the Cryptomancer was asking about why not split it in half. I mean, you could do that. You get the same amount of airdrop points when you do that, as if then just keeping it and doing it. So it's definitely a strategy. I mean, that's probably the smarter way to do it if you are super bullish with SPS pumping in the first 2 months, or the last 2 months, I should say, during the last 60 days. Was it 50, 60 days left or whatever?
55. Let's see, just to be actually precise, 53 days.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're super bullish on SPS running up in that time, then that strategy makes a lot more sense, because as SPS goes up, you're going to automatically get way more DEC through that. And then
Wild.
My daughter's playing this music in my ear, sorry guys. The DC goes through the roof, then you get more airdrops. So that might be the strategy to do if you're super bullish on SPS.
Interesting, really cool. I hadn't thought about the pools at all. I keep telling myself I need to figure out how these liquidity pools work, and maybe figure that, like give that a shot, but I just haven't. I mean, I just feel like while I'm interested, I just don't know when I would. I mean, I guess part of it is I already feel like I have enough. I have enough significant investment in the game, but that shouldn't like it really, to me, this all feels like it's pretty well a lock to get significant opportunity, significant gain in this moment. And so I'm trying to, I think, talk myself out of it, but really there's no reason to. It feels like just I should take another bite too, but I don't know if I'm gonna.
Here's what I'd like to know. If the price of SPS is, I'm sorry, if the price of DEC is higher than the peg, can you buy the Chaos Legion packs for $4 in DEC, or is it for 4,000?
That's a great question. We can answer it right now. So the peg right now is not, it's slightly above peg. So I'll buy one pack with DEC and let's see how many DEC costs. So look, it costs 4,000 DEC. So right now they are offering the peg. They are not looking at market value at all.
So if DEC goes above peg, it's not worth it to use the DEC to buy the packs.
No, but then you could you could bring the DEC into Hive Engine and you could trade it for, Chaos Legion packs there from if you wanted, and you'd get a good deal on them. Or you could bring the DEC into the marketplace and buy more of those gold foils, and you're going to get USD value from the marketplace because that's a peer-to-peer exchange.
So you're really hedging. Okay, so based on that video, you're hedged a little bit because you're hedged against a loss, because if the value goes down, they honor the peg,
yes,
which is cool.
Dude, this is so important. I want to take another couple minutes just to unpack the power of what you just said, because you gloss over it, and there might be viewers who are listening and they're like, sure, okay, they honor the peg, okay, great. It's mind-blowing because like it's literally the reason why Luna failed is because there was no backing of it, no asset behind it that anyone cared to have. They wanted they wanted to get out. They wanted to get into some other coin, and both coins burnt to the ground because of how the algorithm worked. But with this token, with DEC, the company behind it, which we all have seen acting, scrupulously and like open book and trustworthy, and I could give you 5 examples of why Aggie and Yaba they merit trust. But set that aside for a minute and say they have promised that they are going to accept this at peg even if the thing craters. And I can tell you that they did it before. The DEC used to be worth, there was a time when I was playing the game and there were still probably 3,000 people playing this game. DEC was worth, on the marketplace, you could buy 1,000 of them for 65 US cents. And you could buy them here, 1,000 for 65 cents, and you could bring them over here and buy Untamed packs with it, and thereby get a 35% discount on your Untamed packs. And I did that all day long. That's what actually made me go all in on Splinterlands, where I loved Splinterlands and I believed in it, and I thought what the game was doing was interesting, and the non-fungible tokens and the daily payouts for your time and attention, that was all awesome. But the thing that grabbed me, that really made me go all in, like I took every crypto penny I had and put it in this game at that moment, because I saw a way where I could get 35% discount on Untamed packs. And that's why I have such a substantive Untamed deck now, because that made so much sense and I ran with that. And that now tells me that I can trust the promise that they will honor the peg now, even if somehow DEC craters, because DEC might crater when this airdrop ends. Before the airdrop ends, I think you're not going to see a cratering, because people are so confident in what Yaba has said about that peg. I think no one's scared about that at all. And that's why we haven't seen any fluctuation in DEC lately, like none. It was below, it was slightly below peg, and then he came out and he said that, and it was like just right up. And so, I mean, if you trust these guys, and I think you should, look, it was like, it was 2/10 of a penny or 2/100ths of a penny below the peg on May 11th. And I think that's like roughly when Yaba came out and said, no, we're going to honor the peg, and then just do. And it's just going to sit there now until the end of the peg. And then, yes, there'll be significant selling pressure on DEC, and then DEC probably will try and go below its peg value, but that's totally okay because you guys want the Chaos Legion packs. You guys want the assets that Splinterlands is offering. And so you don't care if the peg value breaks because you're going to exchange it at peg value for a different asset that is interesting and useful. And that's going to trigger new airdrops like we just mentioned. And so it's like win-win-win. And as long as Splinterlands has assets that they can pay us with that you want, DEC is an actual stable coin worth understanding and worth holding to some extent. I'm not saying it's a long-term hold, it's a great investment. I'm saying like it's more of a successful stable coin than possibly any other because of that nature, because they are pegging it with their own assets that we all want. As long as we want them, as long as there's a community of people that want them, this token is very genius.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting the confidence to buy it like that. I just wanted to check something. Sorry. Can you can't do that, can you? You can buy SPS. Okay, so you can do it SPS. Because one of the guys in the comments was it virus said convert to credits, which is possible. So you could just convert the DEC to SPS and then the SPS to like if you try to go buy credits right now.
Yeah.
Not SPS, credits, and then hit crypto and then just use SPS.
Yeah.
So then I would just convert my DEC to SPS and then use SPS to buy this is in the situation where DEC goes way above the peg. Then I can still use that DEC to buy packs, but I'll just use tokens.
Big brain move there. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I like that.
Yeah.
And that's I guess that's not a security issue.
I think there are fees on that though. Like I don't know if there are or aren't, but the other day I was like, I almost FOMO'd into 2 million DEC. I go in here and I'm like, in Canada, we can do, I'm a non-US resident, so I can buy DEC using Transact. But I was like, and I've got enough,
or something.
I've got enough coin I could do this. So I was like, I'm just going to buy 2 million DEC like right now. And I clicked on it, I went through the process and it was going to let me do it, but it was going to pay, it was like a 10% fee.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's just brutal. Like, it was convenient. It was possible. But we're talking like a $200 fee or something like that. US dollars. And I mean, I could do it my own way if you know what I mean? Like but that hurdle was enough. I was like, it's too much fee. And I'm not going to go through the hassle of like, I could take money, put it from my bank into my favorite exchange, buy some Hive, bring it over.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. And Jim says Jim's going to send you a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy him some DEC.
Not the
America makes everything difficult, man.
Yeah, dude, government.
But yeah, I'm really excited about that. I mean, I would have never even considered buying DEC because honestly, I mean, and no dig to the Splinterlands, it's just for me there wasn't a ton of utility. I mean, yeah, there is to buy cards, right? And that's really kind of where DEC is its utility is buying more cards. But the fact that they pegged it, and I am interested in Chaos Legion packs, just made that whole video just shout at me.
I know, dude.
Yeah. So
when I saw,
it really makes a lot of sense for me.
It's funny because the day before, somebody asked me like, "What would you do if you had like $100 a month to invest in Splinterlands?"
Yeah, I remember that video. Yep.
Yeah, and I thought it through, and I was like, I specifically said at the end like DEC, I would like don't get DEC, and then Llama did that video, and I was like big eyes wide open. I was like this, and then that's why I tweeted like I was like, What did I say? Attention, Splinterlands investors. This video from Crypto Llama is must see. And I mean, 26 likes, that's actually pretty good for me in terms of my Twitter feed. Plus, I just broke 1,000 people on the Twitter, so that's cool.
Oh,
Yeah, 1,006 now. But man, seriously, this video, which you all should go to Twitter, find me Time and Attention, and click on this if you haven't seen it yet. He covers it.
follow Time and Attention first, and then
yeah, he covers it in detail, and he speculates on like what if SPS goes up and what if it doesn't, and he's like, here's how much you probably stand to make from SPS alone, and then here's how many if you turn those DEC into Chaos Legion packs, here's how many airdrops you're likely to get mathematically speaking, because that's all calculable. And then from that, what would those be individually worth financially? And so you can think it through in a relatively logical, trustworthy manner that allows you to then formulate in a way that most investments don't, because most of the time when you buy an investment, you're really just speculating. In this context, because of the peg and because they offer assets, Chaos Legion packs, it's free money, but you have to want to invest in Splinterlands. That's the thing. If you didn't like the game, if you don't believe in the future, if you don't trust the developers, then none of this makes sense to you. But probably if you're watching me and Saucy J talk about this game at 10:30 p.m., you are deeply trusting and you are loving it. This is an opportunity, man. And in years to come, this might be a catalyst for massive Chaos Legion pack sales, because I do think DEC is going to liquidate, and that's going to saturate the market, driving DEC prices down on Hive Engine. In like the peer-to-peer market, I believe we will see DEC, once the SPS airdrop is over, most of the utility from holding DEC will end, and people will sell it because they'll either use it to buy Chaos Legion packs, but I don't believe all of the mega whales who are holding millions of DEC are going to spend it all on packs. I don't believe that. They're going to want to liquidate some of it. And this market is just going to tick down, tick down, tick down. And I think we're going to see the peg break, which is going to be that moment where you guys and me have that new opportunity for DEC to be spent, to be acquired through an arbitrage play on Hive Engine with whatever other crypto assets you have, and then moved into Chaos Legion packs. Oh crap. Moved into Chaos Legion packs at a 30% discount. I was getting 35% discount on my Untamed packs. If that happens again during Chaos Legion, these 6 million packs will sell out much faster than everyone seems to think. That would be a huge catalyst.
Yep, I agree. That's my plan. I'm just hoping they don't sell out before the end of the airdrop. I don't think they will, but I think there's going to be a very steep buy after the airdrop. I think we're going to see a lot of packs sell out as soon as the airdrops are over.
Yeah, I think
the SPS airdrops.
Yeah, I think and you can begin to explore some of this stuff too. Like you can come over here to explore, and you go to explore, and you go. I know it's top holders, and then you find the DEC rich list, and you can. Some of these are like this is. This is not this is not an account that's sitting on DEC for the purposes of liquidating. TerraBlock that's a liquidity pool. So like some of these are liquidity pools, but then you get into here and it's like that's an account. That's an account. Team Monsters obviously isn't going to liquidate theirs, but I mean lots of these people are multi-millionaire DEC holders. Like each, let's see, 15 million. That's $15,000 in DEC, I think, if I'm doing my math correctly in my head. And all of these people are going to have the same disincentive for holding that DEC and incentive to move it into Chaos Legion packs. So I just think that's going to happen. And I do think, especially as the peg begins to break, because not all of them will want to do that. They'll want some cash back. And that means selling it on the market, which drives the price of the DEC down. And that's when the arbitrage opportunity arises for like me and you.
Yeah. I'm curious to know I wonder if anybody's done the research to see some of those top DEC holder accounts, if they actually have packs or if they have, big card holdings, collection power holdings. Just
good question.
About that.
Yeah, great question. I'm sure, you know, Tails, I'm looking in your direction. You're the number whiz, and you're always looking at that stuff. If you had a way to probe, or if you could think of a way to like probe of those top holders, which ones are like active players, or which ones have there's some sort of evidence that points to the fact that they will handle that DEC in either liquidating it into maybe Hive or liquidating it, putting it into packs. That sort of information would be like deeply valuable because it would tell us a certain tale about what we can expect, I think, and maybe give us some forward guidance. I almost think.